Landy? Now what can I say? Was it the eyes, the cute smile, or the way she plows through the auto tower? Seriously, we don't need any of these units. We're just going to take Naval Captain Landy into the auto tower and see what she can do. Now, to be fair, I did have a whole bunch of devices on my side. I got the device that lets the front row unit counterattack every single time she's hit, so she is non-stock proccing stacks. I got the curse device for extra damage, that one's a must. And I got a whole slew of night boosting devices that increased her damage, gave her penetration, lets her start with attack. I mean, it really is sized up to make Landy darn near unstoppable in this fight.
Tactical maneuvers.
Boom. So for real, guys, if you haven't gotten this unit, find a way to get this unit. This is the most broken thing Smilegate's done since original Hua Young. And I'm not just talking about an auto tower, I'm talking pretty much everywhere. That's right, Money Man, she is that good. This unit stacks every time she attacks. So when she attacks like that, that's one stack, and when she attacks like that, that's a second stack. Each attack is boosting her own attack. And when she gets 5 stacks, you know, most people use an anchor to stop a boat, but Giga Chad Landy, she uses an anchor to throw a boat right into your face. And that's about what it looks like in RTA when that happens too. Now, floor 20 I did have to cheat a little bit. All you need to do is take really an Arius Knight, a light Arius Knight to bait Dark Corvus. I took Blaze Dingo because I was thinking, you know what, I'll just use the gold shield to survive. I was really overthinking it. If you take an Arius Knight, the Arius Knight will take more damage and Dark Corvus will be drawn to him like a magnet. I think with a little bit more damage, I might have been able to take Dark Corvus out without a Knight. But Landy kept countering him, and he eventually got enough stacks that he was able to do his ultimate. Luckily, Landy gets off a salvo, which heals her up to full. So Blaze Dingo got more hurt than Landy, so Dark Horse went into him. But like I said, enough of this manual stuff, put it back on auto. Any Arius Light Knight, and you can just auto the whole thing.
I'll show you.
Wow, Rickarus took that boat to the face like a champ. Yeah, devices don't matter. Okay, enough of that. Back to solo Landy time. The curse device combined with Landy constantly countering, scaling up her attack, and eventually throwing a boat at the enemy, it almost kind of feels unfair.
Deal with it.
So a lot of people have asked me, how should they build their Landy when they get her? I mean, it really is simple. You want counterattack on her, of course. Now, there are some people who are preaching injury. I'm not particularly a fan. I think an injury Landy build is really only going to be used in Guild War defense, maybe arena defense, or when you're trying to fend off somebody who's using Dark Corvus against you. I think you're really missing out on counter set, proccing that 30% chance for her to do an extra attack and boost her own attack, CR push her, chance to get a salvo which self-heals her based on attack. I don't know, to each their own, but I think counter set's a must. As for the second set, I'm running mine on immunity, and a lot of people think that's not the best idea because, hey, she's immune to stuns and sleeps, so, you know, why do you want her on immunity? The first time you salvo and damage somebody below the threshold and it pushes Karena up and Karena rocket punches her and defense breaks her and kills her and ruins your run, you'll start to see the value of immunity. Also, having knights and units like Dark Corvus just non-stop provoker, it's kind of a pain. I think there's value in immunity. It's saved my life in a couple of fights, but it's not required. Really, the second set is player's choice. I've seen people use Unity set. That's kind of some interesting fun cheese. I don't know that it's that much value because you don't use basic skills enough to really get the Unity going unless you're running a really slow tanky team. But I don't know, Unity, immunity, it's an argument to be had for both of them. Or you could just run crit chance for the gear score. She's a very gear intensive unit, so crit chance might be good. Or might be the way to get her the stat points, or health set, or defense set, or heck, broken set. Whatever you need to get the stats. As for the stats, I think at a bare minimum, you need 1,500 health and 15,000 health and 1,500 defense, and I strongly recommend 140 or higher speed. I think base speed can be used, but it just feels really bad. I like seeing her take the turns. Sometimes she doesn't get the salvos, and sometimes she doesn't get the dual attacks, and it just feels bad with her not taking a turn. Other than that, you just stack her crit damage and attack. Lean more heavily towards attack because her heals scale off of her attack. So attack is a little bit more important than crit damage in the total damage combination. I think in a perfect world, you shoot for 1,600 health. Sorry, 16,000 health, 1,600 defense, 150 speed, over 3,200 attack, and over 230 crit damage. Now that's very, very lofty score points. I think 1,500 by 15,000 by 140 speed is a good baseline, and just dump the rest into attack. If you can't hit those base stat levels, then go ahead and drop your speed down. Don't drop your health, don't drop your damage. Landys that don't do damage feel terrible, and Landys that just die because they don't have enough health and defense feel terrible. Better to run slower than to not have a functional unit.
Don't let them escape.
Throw the boat. Oh man, that feels so good. Oh, and that device that lets you counter on the front row, it counters Spectre Tenebria. That's hilarious.
Bon voyage.
Beast of the West.
Deal with it. It's time. Commence tactical maneuvers.
This thing was tough. It took 2 boats to the face. And that is how the auto tower respects the great Landy. I hope you guys have good luck getting this unit. She is a fantastic unit, and man, it's going to feel really bad playing RTA without her. Here's my build. I think she's pretty good. She is by far not the best I've seen. I would love to get a little bit more attack on her and a little bit more speed on her, but I'm pretty happy with her. She's performed very well for me. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody.